it's really sounding like it all comes down to patriarchy and autonomy, or the lack thereof, right? I think a lot of these young boys, African boys, are not necessarily being raised to be husbands, to be fathers. They're not even being raised to be sons. They're being raised to be patriarchs. You know, how, like, you can see a household, you have a household with a bunch of kids, boys and girls, and you can see how the girls turn out and how the boys turn out. And I'm talking about a typical modern day African household, or we can even talk about the African immigrant household in the diaspora. Exactly. We see how the girls fare versus how the boys fare. And that's because at a certain age, parents stop raising their sons. They invest so much in their daughters in terms of like how they want their daughters to be nurturers. They want you to learn how to cook, to clean, to take care of people, to take care of yourself, to be self-sufficient. It may not necessarily be financially, and they may be doing it for the purpose of you know, doing that for a man one day, right? That it's for a man one day. But at the end of the day, they're still letting you go into the world with a bunch of different skills that the boys are not being taught. All they're being taught is how to, you know, what's the word? How to build the patriarchy, right? Culture changes. Culture has always changed. Culture evolves, and we should be open to that. And I feel like there's such a huge investment in furthering patriarchy and building that, but with an illusion of this is for our culture, this is how things are supposed to be. But we're really missing huge points, and that's what skills are we teaching these boys?
Pressured to accept white standards of what marriage means. So even like the definition of marriage is not one that we have given ourselves. It's one that we have been given by the colonizers, if I can just say that. And right now, when we're pressuring the kids, the young, like 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20s, anybody in their 20s, seriously, like when we're pressuring them to get married, do we even know what marriage looks like for ourselves?
Because, you know, they see you go on a trip. That's not something they did growing up. And now you have that. But they themselves are struggling in their marriages. Maybe it's abusive. Maybe it's not the best thing that has ever happened to them. But yet, those people will not tell you those bad experiences they're going through.
Why is it that I, as the woman, have to bear that brunt of like, have to be prepared for marriage, but the men cannot be prepared for marriage?
Talk Show.